I started by taking my damp beauty blender and just blending in some liquid foundation. Using my MAC Pro Conceal and Correct palette, I'm just applying a kind of medium shade color under the eye area and blending it in with a damp beauty blender. Taking my BH Cosmetics brush, number 127, with the darkest shade in the MAC Conceal and Correct palette, I am just contouring the cheekbones and blending that line in with my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. You don't want any harsh lines. Again, for the forehead area, I'm using the BH Cosmetics number 127 brush, and then I'm going to blend it out with a damp beauty blender. Using my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush to contour the jawline and neck. I'm still using that darkest shade of brown in the MAC Pro Conceal and Correct palette. You want to make sure you get that neck area. Don't leave that step out, especially if you were blessed with a double chin like I was. Using a small flat brush from my FX kit to highlight with the lightest color in that MAC Conceal and Correct palette. I'm applying it right under that contour and blending with a beauty blender. And on the cheekbones as well, and the center of the forehead. I don't contour my nose because it is already narrow, but that is something you can do when you have a wider nose. I like to make sure my highlight goes on the apple of the cheek, so you kind of got to make a funny face. There it is. Using my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette, it is a powder palette. I'm just setting my contour. I'm using my BH Cosmetics brush number 124 with the shade Sombre. You want to be careful with that color because if you get too much on your brush, it's not going to look good. Now taking my absolute favorite, my Yves Saint Laurent Soufflé Sheer and Radiant Loose Powder in number 2. And I'm using a powder puff to pat that onto my skin. I'm not blending it in, I'm just letting it sit on the top of my skin. Kind of got to let it bake there. This is also going to help catch any fallout with our eyeshadow whenever we get to the eyes. We will be brushing this all off at the end. Using my Sonia Kushuk brush and number 202, I'm making an outline of where I want my cut crease to be. I'm using shade called Pluto in my BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. Using my Maybelline gel liner in the blackest black, I'm just reinforcing that line. Now using my flat shadow brush by Sonia Kushuk, there is no number for that, I'm applying that same Pluto shadow on and above that cut crease. Just want to keep on applying the color and really building it onto the cut crease. You want to work it upwards, do not go below the cut crease. And I'm blending that out now with my MAC 217 brush. It's an awesome blending brush, by the way. And just going in with some more shadows and blend, blend, and blend. I did add a color called Mars. It's in the BH Galaxy palette as well. Blended that into the Pluto. I'm using my Sigma 3D HD Precision brush to clean up a bit. Now with my flat brush, I used the same color and the same product in my MAC Conceal and Correct palette that I highlighted with. I'm just adding that onto the lid and using that as a base for my shadow. You do not always need an eyeshadow primer. Just blending that in with my finger. With my Sonia Kushuk shadow brush, I'm applying Cosmic and Milky Way to my lid, still from the BH Galaxy palette. And I decided to give the inner lower corner a little pop. That is in the color Cosmic. Mascara. This is the Urban Decay Perversion. Definitely one of my favorite mascaras. And we cannot forget those brows. I'm using Beverly Hills Anastasia, the Brow Wiz in medium brown. And I'm just doing some very light hair strokes. I'm not using any pressure when I do this. You don't want any harsh lines in your brows. I cannot stand the Sharpie eyebrows. You kind of want to go with the natural shape of your brows. You don't want to force them to be something they are not. That's when they start looking unnatural. Using my BH Cosmetics 125 brush, I'm sweeping away that YSL powder we had. To pull everything together, I'm taking a big fluffy brush. It's my Sonia Kushuk brush number 100 and using Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Powder in medium 57, and I'm blending it over the entire face. And I'm just touching up the highlight areas with the BH 125 brush and Kat Von D Levitation Powder, and that's in her powder contour kit. Just adding my final touches. I am a bit of a perfectionist, so. And last, this is my liquid lipstick. I did formulate and make this myself. It's something you will be hearing more about in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You can subscribe to my channel and also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.